Dear students, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2018 graduation ceremony. Today is a very special day for you students, but also for your families and friends, and for us teaching and administrative staff, because graduation is the culmination of a joint effort and the celebration of an accomplishment. Most of you came to the Institute 2 years ago when the world was facing unexpected events like Trump in the White House, the Brexit, the coup attempt in Turkey, North Korea's missile and nuclear tests. The world has never been a calm, long river, but globalization has accelerated and amplified the pace of change and provokes today countercurrents in the form of nationalism, protectionism, and populism that is deeply disturbing for people like us who believe that international cooperation is the best way to make this planet peaceful and prosperous. More than ever, the world needs a new generation of international actors to tackle the new challenges and contribute to a better future. The world, more than ever, needs shapers and leaders who develop creative thinking, foster global responsibility and respect for diversity. You are a microcosm of the world. Your cohort comes from more than 100 countries, from different societies and cultures, academic and life experiences. You came to the Institute with a rich background of knowledge and experience, with aspirations, dreams, and hopes. We strove to meet your expectations and to provide you with an education that combines intellectual rigor with a practical focus to enable you to pursue a successful career and make a beneficial impact on the world. I would like to take this moment to give a thought of regret to two members of our community who passed away in this year. One of them was your comrade, Matteo Johnson, a second-year student in the Master of Development Studies. Passionate, intelligent, and warm-hearted, he had a unique understanding of development, fed by his experience with the Peace Corps and his extensive work with needy communities in Panama. The other person was Kofi Annan, a great leader and humanist who has worked tirelessly for peace in very difficult conditions and for international cooperation in a world of rising challenges, and who was both an alumnus and a longtime friend of our institute. Our thoughts are with Matteo's and Kofi's families and relatives. It is now your turn to rise to the challenges of the world and make the best use of what you have learned. Be proud of what you have accomplished here and perpetuate the Institute's tradition of excellence, respect, openness, and understanding in all your future endeavors. Congratulations to all of you. Now let me introduce our Master of Ceremony. Please come, Professor Mélanie Kolbe, who will I'll let you present yourself. Thank you.
Un moment.
Yes, that's useful, exactly.
Merci beaucoup. Cher Monsieur Beran, merci beaucoup pour l'invitation à cette cérémonie. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 2018 graduation ceremony. So let me start out by congratulating all of you who are present here today, but also those that were not able to attend, on earning your well-deserved master's and doctoral degrees. You made it! And let's also thank all the friends and the family that have supported our students during the studies, and without whom today would not have been possible. So please join me in a round of applause for them as well. Thank you very much. Now to introduce me, my name is Melanie Kolber. I'm an assistant professor in international relations and political science, and I research and teach the politics of migration. But today, I will serve as the maître de ceremony. And I'm actually really delighted to see so many of you here today, and among you also some of the students I had the pleasure to teach or supervise this year. So now for the running order. As every year, we have a number of prizes, and for particularly outstanding theses and dissertations. And so we will start out first honoring the laureate of the Prix Ladislas Misirovic, and then award our doctoral students with their PhD diplomas. We will then commence with conferring the master's diplomas and announce the winners of our Prix Pierre Dubois, Prix Leonard Hubitz, Prix Mariano Garcia Rubio, and Prix Rudi Dornbusch. And after we conferred the prizes, two of our master students would like to share their experience at the Institute with you. And we also have then finally the pleasure to honor the laureate of the Prix de l'Association des Anciens and to hear from the president of the Alumni Association, Paul Mathieu. So to start out, I would like to invite first Professor Davide Rodogno to join me on the stage, who will present and confer the Prix Ladislas Misirovic.
Bonjour tout le monde. Au nom de l'Institut et du jury du prix Misirovic, j'ai le grand plaisir de remettre pour la première fois le prix Ladislas Misirovic, qui vise à distinguer une thèse de doctorat ou un mémoire de master de grande qualité consacré à la problématique des réfugiés qui est évaluée pendant l'année académique écoulée. L'idée et le financement de ce prix reviennent au professeur Ladislas Misirovic, qui est un alumnus et professeur honoraire d'histoire de l'Université de Genève, que nous remercions très vivement. Le prix, cette année, est attribué à Madame Cecilia Truffer, qui a obtenu ce master en anthropologie et sociologie du développement et dont le mémoire est intitulé The Rohingyas, Beyond Domination and Resistance, a Case Study on Refugees' Innovative Strategies. Le mémoire porte sur la capacité des réfugiés à inventer des solutions créatives pour favoriser la solidarité et la sauvegarde d'un groupe dans des situations extrêmement difficiles et dramatiques. Et il utilise le case studies des Rohingyas en Malaisie. Cécilia.
So let us now proceed with the doctoral graduation ceremony. For that, I would like to first invite Madame Michael Sela, Deputy Head of Student Services, to join me on the stage.
Welcome, everybody. In the name of all of my colleagues in the Student Services, we would like to congratulate you today. We see you all as you come in on the first day, and we accompany you all throughout your studies. And today we're a little bit sad, but very, very proud to see you leave us with your new diplomas. So congratulations.
So I will now call out each doctoral student individually, and please, if you hear your name, come up to the stage using the center stage staircase, where you will receive your diploma and have the opportunity to take a picture with Monsieur Berin, before you head back behind me to your assigned seat on the left-hand side behind the lectern. So this year, the Institute actually awarded 50 doctorates, and 17 of the recipients are here today. We will start out with the first student. Ms. Ekaterina Kublin, PhD in Anthropology and Sociology of Development, for the thesis entitled The L'Acadie Trauma, Encountering Self, State, and the Other, under the supervision of Professor Isabel Schulte-Tenkhoff. Congratulations. Next up is Ms. Laura Siron, PhD in Development Economics, for the thesis entitled Essays in Development Economics and Economics of Education, under the supervision of Professor Martina Villarengo. Congratulations. Next is Ms. Kalajoun Hosinejad, PhD in International Law, for the thesis entitled Towards a New Approach to Treaty Interpretation, Interaction of Theory and Practice, under the supervision of Professor Zachary Douglas. Next is Mr. Tiago Braz Ratim Oliveira, PhD in International Law, for the thesis entitled Foreign State Immunity and Denial of Justice, Jurisdictional Rules, Rights, and Conflict, under the supervision of Professor Marcelo Cohen. Congratulations. Next is Ms. Susan Kassim, PhD in Anthropology and Sociology of Development, for the thesis entitled The Global North and South of Lebanon, the Practices of the United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon, under the supervision of Professor Ricardo Bocco. Congratulations. Next up is Mr. Rahul Mehrotra, PhD in Development Economics, for the thesis entitled Essays in Experimental Development Economics and Human Capital Formation, under the supervision of Professor Ugo Panizza and Laura van der Walle. Congratulations. Next, we have Ms. Katrin Nabel, PhD in International Law, for the thesis entitled The Role and Evidence of Consumer Preferences in WTO Adjudication, Investigating and Improving Methods of Assessment, under the direction of Professor Joost Pauwelin. Congratulations. Next, we have Mr. Flavien Renaud, PhD in Anthropology and Sociology of Development, for the thesis entitled Entre promesses et dissidence, le café burundais au cœur des controverses, under the direction of Professor Jean-Pierre Jacob. Congratulations. Next, we have Mr. Farzan Sabet, PhD in International History, for the thesis entitled The Iranian Nuclear Program, U.S. Policy, and the Non-Proliferation Regime, 1974 to 1978, under the supervision of Professor Jussi Hanimäki. Congratulations. is Ms. Nita Shala, PhD in International Law, for the thesis entitled Guarantees of Non-Repetition for Violation of Human Rights, under the supervision of Professor Paola Gaeta. Congratulations. Next, we have Mr. Diego Enrique Silva Garçon, PhD in Anthropology and Sociology of Development, for the thesis entitled Protecting the Vital, Analyzing the Relationship Between Agricultural Biosafety and the Commodification of Genetically Modified Cotton Seeds in Colombia, under the supervision of Professor Shalini Randera and Inela Nasos. Congratulations. Next, we have Mr. Caio Simoes de Araújo, PhD in International History, for the thesis entitled Diplomacy of Blood and Fire, Portuguese Decolonization and the Race Question, 1945 to 1966, under the supervision of Professor Shalini Randera and Gopalan Palachandran. Congratulations. Next, we have Mr. Dmitry Skugorevsky, PhD in International Economics, for a thesis entitled Essays in Law and Economics of Enforcement, under the supervision of Professor Jean-Louis Arcan. Congratulations. Next, we have Ms. Surita Srinivasan, PhD in International Economics, for the thesis entitled Barriers to the Global Diffusion of Clean Technologies and the Impact of Policies, under the direction of Professor Timothy Swanson. Congratulations. Next, we have Mr. Matthew Hector Travis Millen Stevenson, PhD in International Relations and Political Science with a minor in Development Economics, for a thesis entitled Investment as a Two-Way Street, How China Used Inward and Outward Investment Policy for Structural Transformation, and how this paradigm can be useful for other emerging economies, under the supervision of Professor Bierstecker and Jean-Louis Arcan. Congratulations. Next, we have Mr. Manuel Tihanki, PhD in International Law, for the thesis entitled Trade and Environment Governance at the World Trade Organization Committee on Trade and Environment, under the supervision of Professor Joost Parvelin. Congratulations. And last, but certainly not least, Ms. Giulia Valacci, PhD in International Economics, for the thesis entitled Innovation and Diffusion of New Technologies in and Out the Green Sector, under the supervision of Professor Timothy Swanson. Congratulations. So congratulations again to all of our new PhDs. So we are now moving to the conferral of the Prix Pierre de Bois. And for that, I have the pleasure to welcome Professor Mahmoud Mohamedou on stage, who will present and hand over the prize.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the families. Congratulations to all the graduates. Le prix Pierre Dubois est attribué chaque année à la meilleure thèse en histoire internationale. Ce prix porte le nom d'un professeur qui a enseigné durant de longues années dans le département d'histoire internationale et politique ici à l'Institut et qui nous a malheureusement prématurément quittés en 2007. La fondation qui porte son nom et qui attribue généreusement ce prix est présidée par Madame Irina Dubois, son épouse, qui est ici parmi nous aujourd'hui, et que je voudrais remercier au nom de l'Institut pour son soutien et pour sa présence. La Fondation a fêté hier ses 10 années et nous nous réjouissons de continuer notre partenariat avec elle et notamment le soutien qu'elle donne aux étudiants. Le prix pour cette année est attribué à un étudiant que j'ai eu le plaisir d'avoir comme assistant de recherche, un de nos brillants étudiants, M. Caio Simoes de Araujo, pour sa thèse intitulée Diplomacy of Blood and Fire, Portuguese Decolonization, 1945-1968. Caio, please.
So we would also like to extend our congratulations to the winner of the Prix de Leonidovich. And for that, I'm asking Professor Jean-Louis Arcan to join me now, who will present and hand over this prize.
So this is something completely new, the Hurwitz Prize, just so that some of you probably don't know who Hurwitz was. He came through the Institute and studied here in 1939. And he was the recipient of the Nobel Prize in Economics. He's the only alumnus of the Institute to have received the Nobel Prize in economics. And given our interdisciplinary nature, it's kind of nice that I met Hurwitz a few years ago. He died just a few months after the prize, unfortunately. I met him in Tunis. I'd spent an hour with him at dinner. He spent the whole dinner, remember, economist, Nobel in economics, explaining to me the advantages of the cuneiform alphabet for communication. And after about an hour of this, his wife sort of, butted in and said, now, leave the nice young man alone. I was significantly younger at that time. In any event, Leonid worked in meteorology, linguistics, information theory, etc., and it, in some sense, is appropriate for two reasons that the recipient of the inaugural version of this prize is Dmitry Skugarevsky. The two reasons are the following. First, Dmitry's thesis was very interdisciplinary is very interdisciplinary in nature, being essentially the economic analysis of law. So that's the first thing. And Hurwitz's first diploma was in law, actually, at the University of Warsaw. And second, Hurwitz, despite getting his diploma in law in Warsaw, was Russian, and Dmitry is Russian. So, Dmitry, you're so tall, normally it's very easy to...
Again, many congratulations to the winners of our prizes. We will now proceed to the Disciplinary Master's Ceremony. So for now, I will start with the conferral of the diplomas. For that, I will ask each student to come up on stage on the right-hand side. Once you hear your name, receive your diploma, take a picture, and exit on the other side to get back to your assigned seat. Now I know all of you would like to take additional pictures afterwards. Since we will have a second graduation ceremony right after this one, taking place in the same space, we actually have set up a designated space for taking pictures in the Salon Davis in front of the library. And I suggest we will start out with a Master's in Anthropology and Sociology of Development, which will be awarded by Professor Alessandro Monsuti.
So as it's a formal event, I prepared a little talk. So I got, I think, 7 minutes, no? Is it correct? Now, ladies and gentlemen, dear parents, dear students, good afternoon. So when I decided to study anthropology and not zoology, I didn't know that it meant that I would be the first to speak today compared with my colleagues who are economists, lawyers, and come later in the alphabetic order. So but anyway, dear students, congratulations, you made it. In the United States, as you know, the graduation day is called commencement day because indeed it's a new start for you. Sometimes, however, I wonder why you decided to come to Geneva. Obviously, the city is nice, with a nice lake, and the scenery can be spectacular by a clear day. Obviously, the professors of the Graduate Institute have a lot to offer, but still, Geneva urbanscape cannot compete with New York or Hong Kong. So why intelligent people like you from all over the world are coming here for their studies? We all know that part of the answer is Geneva, la Genève Internationale. You come to also get acquainted with the rituals, the customs, and the behaviors of international and non-governmental organizations. So indeed, Geneva is a small place, but a global place, and that's probably what makes the city unique. I don't think of any other place which is small enough to actually have people meeting and sharing and learning about each other, and at the same time so global. So Geneva is indeed a place where it's possible to learn easily the codes of conduct regulating the international staff. Their ethos. So the process of learning beyond the classroom is crucial here. In a world of anxiety, in a world of ever widespread discontentment, the good things in knowing codes is that you can then question them. You can actually subvert them. Fully aware of what you do. So playing codes, in French I would say jouer avec les codes, se jouer des codes, gives us the feeling that we are free. It's probably an illusion, but still it's an illusion which makes us happy. It's a source of satisfaction. So maybe it's an illusion, but still it's also a source of hope. So hope for a better world that can be approached only if we reinvent it. We reinvent it outside the existing boxes. Misbehaving by mistake brings only shame. Misbehaving knowingly brings something else. It's almost cathartic. There is pleasure in subversion, but there is also hope. So my best wishes for your future life, be it as subversive as possible. Thank you.
I would like to call Cindy Araújo Frisch. Afalchuk Batisevi. Duigu Deuru. Yagoda Katri. Huaren Liang. Alisa Maria Luisi. Chloé Perenouf. Siméon Jean-Élie Rapin. Anina Eva Schmid. Anina Serafia Suvila. And Liliane Tahafe Williams. So pretty.
So congratulations again to all the graduates of the Master's Program in Anthropology and Sociology of Development. Next up is the Master's in International Law, which will be awarded by Professor Vincent Chetaille.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a great pleasure to be here. I'm very happy to be here at this important day for all our students. The International Law Department is committed to train the most promising international lawyers of tomorrow. Our main objective is to provide both practical skills and critical thinking about international law and its main challenges. We are used to teach our students different perspectives, different approaches to better understand how to do law and how to think about law. And now, this is the end of this process. You are the most promising international lawyers, and I wish you congratulations for this great achievement.
I would like to call Abisad Adnoubi. Congratulations. Suleika Agrawal. Sarah Angeleska. Serena Ariello. Julia Bazil. Minsora Valet Ahmed Boya. Stefania Di Stefano. Honor Dor. Mohamed Ibrahim Mohamed Altavila. Cyprien Fluzin. Félicitations. Jimena Galvez Lima. Gabriela Garcia Escobar. Charlotte Louise Greener. Tatiana Guimaraes Ferreira. Adelina Harunian. Manuela Curca. Julie Anne Lambin. Félicitations. Alessandra Licini Diaz. Careful. Harshit Malik. Irene Manganini. Claire Margareta. Félicitations. Alan Michel Mayo Flota. Gabriela Mendes Borba. Fiona Claire Nicholson. Valentina Paderi. Amari Elan Richardson. Julian Marcello Rosenthal. Anna Sorvin Corrali. Émilie Tribolet. Maëva Jade Villard. And Maya Yokota.
Again, congratulations to all the graduates of the Master's Program in International Law. Since Professor Chetaille is already with me, we will use this opportunity to confer the Prix Mariano Garcia Rubio.
Nous avons créé le prix Mariano Garcia Rubio en l'honneur de sa mémoire. C'était un collègue estimé, apprécié de tous et qui partageait avec le département une vision globalisante du droit international. Et ce prix, attribué en sa mémoire, est décerné chaque année pour le meilleur mémoire de master en droit international. Et la gagnante cette année est Madame Serena Ariolo.
Congratulations.
We will now continue with the Masters in International Economics, which will be awarded by Professor Jean-Louis Arcan.
So this year, once again, we have a wonderful cohort of MIS and International Economics students. And economists, whether they like it or not, are extremely powerful individuals potentially. I say potentially, and I say that for the simple reason that we can do a lot of good, we can also do a lot of bad. So I'm going to be extremely brief, and I'm going to have two recommendations for our cohort because we train people very much in a policy-relevant manner, and this is something which is reflected, among other things, in the number of people that we send to, the institutions associated with the running dogs of capitalism, such as the IMF or the World Bank, and this is reflected in the number of alumni that we have in these wonderful institutions. So my two recommendations are the following. Okay. First, don't kill anyone, or at least as few people as you can. And I mean that sincerely, I hope. Some of the greatest crimes against humanity have been perpetrated by people implementing poor economic policies, and hopefully you at least will not implement any poor economic policies. So I could hope you could do. And then the second thing is, whatever types of policies you contribute to implementing, save lots of babies. Okay? That's all I can say.
I would like to invite Eugene Adu Afari.
Wonderful to see you.
Thank you. Maxwell Thomas Anderson. Michael Baltensperger. Pamela Ann Bayona. Elizabeth Elfenbeck. Congratulations. Carlos Galian Barueco. Manavi Gupta. Kyungbo Han. Razi Iqbal. Asya Kaki. Klaus Michael Keller. Kiran Krishna. Huang Trang Lu. Nadia Miol. Sarah Ruth Poussette. Divya Rai. Chao Shen. Wenxia Tang. And Vincent Wolf.
So since we have Professor Kong already here, we will now, you cannot escape, we will now confer the Prix Rudi Dornbusch.
Okay, this is emotional. It's the first time we created this year the Rudi Dornbusch Prize. So Rudi, as he was known to everyone, was assistant in the international economics section of the institute from 1966 to 1967, and then went on, rare things, to be a faculty member both at the University of Chicago and at MIT. I checked on Rudi's CV. He died very young at the age of 60. His fourth paper, which was in a compendium, in a book chapter, is actually written with Alexander Svoboda, our former director. So the link with the institute was always strong. But the reason it's emotional is Rudi was my teacher when I was a PhD student. I took 2 classes with him. One was at MIT, everything is numbered, so it was 452, economics being class 14. And Rudi was one of the best teachers that I've ever had in my life. He was fun. He made algebraic mistakes at the board all the time, which we then got to correct. And he showed how the interaction between absolutely stellar teaching and incredibly influential and aesthetically beautiful research go hand in hand. And his overshooting paper is one of these classics in economics that anyone, even people who are not from the dark side of the force, namely macro, such as myself, know. So it is really with a lot of emotion that I'm going to award the first Rudy Dornbusch Prize, which goes to Carlos Galian Barrueco. And Carlos is a really lucky man. His wife makes a mean tortilla.
Again, congratulations to all the graduates of the Master's Program in International Economics. Next up is the Master's in International History, which will be awarded by Professor Mahmoud Mohamedou.
Congratulations to all the graduates and all of the families again. The department, the International History Department, is very happy to recognize and award this recognition to those of our students that have completed successfully their curriculum, conducted research, and already made a contribution, an important one with their masters. All of the degrees awarded this afternoon obviously share something in common, which is an interest in international affairs. And not only an interest, but some way to alter the way we live in this world and make a contribution in that sense. But allow me to say something about this particular group, the select, the few, dare I say the elite, those students that are going to not only correct the record as it is, have the ability to remember that which others will forget, but I would say in this day and age, at a time of fake news, at a time where a fact is not necessarily a fact, your contribution is needed more than ever. Your contribution existing, your contribution upcoming, is something that is going to be not only an asset for you, but something that is needed in this world. And so this family, this institute, this department wishes you the best and looks forward to welcoming you in your home all the time. Thank you.
I would like to invite Camilla Catherine Baumann. Charles Bonfils. Jocelyn Dalloz. Ayode Habib Daniel Dosu Nonvide. Ottavia Guicciardini. and Shreya Rajpuria.
Congratulations again to all the graduates of the Master's Program in International History. And last but not least, the Masters in International Relations and Political Science, which will be awarded by Professor Keith Krause.
Well, we were only last in the French alphabet with Relations Internationales. But first of all, I want to congratulate all of the students, those who are here today, and of course those who have moved on to other pastures already, on a well-deserved achievement. You were part of our largest master's class and had an amazingly diverse background geographically, culturally, academically, personally, and politically. I didn't have the pleasure of teaching all of you, but I did have many of you in the classroom, and I'd like to take this occasion to say that teaching students like yourself at the Graduate Institute is an immense challenge, partly because of the diversity of backgrounds and views, but it's also a great privilege because of the things that you individually and collectively bring to the classroom and beyond each and every week. And I learned something from all of you, and I thank you for that. Some of you have a clear advocacy orientation with strong commitments to making positive change in what we all know is a politically very challenging world. Others of you are oriented towards working within formal institutions, state and non-state, in a multilateral system at the global and national level. And some of you are more intellectually inclined. A few have remained with us today and will pursue a doctorate, and others are going elsewhere with similar goals. And I hope that we have managed to impart to all of you some of the knowledge and skills, especially critical thinking and esprit critique, that will serve you well in whatever path you choose. I know from previous generations that most of you stay connected in one way or another, and that the networks and friendships that you form here will persist. And I can only say that it's always a pleasure for myself and my colleagues to hear how you're doing, and I look forward to crossing paths with many of you in years to come. So on behalf of the Department of International Relations, Political Science, and all of my colleagues, congratulations and bon vent.
I would like to invite Kersia Kavele. Bastien Collette. Caterina Floriani Mussolini. Anthony Thomas Garay. Laurie Georges. Catherine Giffen. Julia Silvana Hofstetter. Mohammed Shafau Ibrahim. Ronel Mikiko Imagawa. Theodore Floris Marie Jaspers. Alicia Kalra. Julia Tronico. Stephen Michael Lee. Kan Lee. Nicolas Mertz. Divya Padi Mojani. Jimena Osorio Garate. Sol Yi Park. Daniel Reimers. Konstantin Lukas Schmidt. Calvin Yoon Kyung Soo. Ekaterina Sitnikova. Samuel Patrick Stadelman. Juanita Uribe Garcia. Mark Weilenmann. Yijun Wu. Keryan Rolod. Suxie Xu. And Agnese Cecilia Maria Zucca.
So again, congratulations to all the graduates of the master's program in International Relations and Political Science. Now, before I call up our next speakers and will leave the stage, let me take the opportunity to remind you that with the education, the dedication, and the global perspective the Graduate Institute has instilled in you, you will one day have the opportunity to make a difference. And I encourage you to find your own voice, to not shy away from difficult decisions, and be persistent in pursuing your goals. And most importantly, whatever you choose, however many roads you travel, I hope that you choose to assume ownership and leadership of the issues that you care about. In the words of the late Kofi Annan, to live is to choose, but to choose well, you must know who you are and what you stand for, where you want to go, and why you want to get there. And now I would like to welcome Sarah Pousset, Master in International Economics, and Cyprien Flauzin, Master in International Law, who wish to share their personal experience at the Institute with us.
Knowledge is power. Information is liberating. Education is the premise of progress in every society and in every family. These words are also from Kofi Annan, but I think they're so apt for this ceremony as we sit here celebrating both the achievements of our new class of graduates and the potential we have to be change makers going forward, just like he was. Good afternoon to Director Biron, fellow graduates, families, friends, faculty, and staff. As graduates, we are so fortunate to have the opportunities we do before us. We studied in Geneva, surrounded by organizations whose goal it was to make the world a better place. And many of us have already started our careers in those institutions. If the list of alumni tells us anything about our future, it's that we're likely in the presence here of a future Prime Minister, a UN Secretary General, maybe a Nobel Prize laureate. We, as graduates, are in an extraordinary position because we have this opportunity and we have a responsibility to shape our society. And while we can be proud of our accomplishments and our bright future, we all know this journey hasn't been easy as students. We arrived here 2 years ago doe-eyed and idealistic, many with little to no skills in French. To be honest, most of us still lack in this area. We came from different educational backgrounds and different cultures. And for many of us, when we arrived, the struggle was real. From day one, nothing came easy in Geneva. From impossible housing situations to residence permits that never arrived, to trying to discover where to find food that semi-resembled what we'd get back home. Nothing came easily, and I haven't even touched on the challenges of the classroom yet. I remember our first exam as economics students at the Institute, Econometrics 1. Over half our class failed, and over the coming months, failure dealt similar blows to the rest of the students in our class. I'm sorry to my fellow classmates out there who hadn't told their parents who are in this room about those failures. But an important thing happened to us because of this. We became a family. We couldn't do it alone. We couldn't survive all of these assignments and tests and anything else. We had to work together to survive. And I think it's a really important message of why we succeeded and how we came to this room today. We weren't struggling and failing alone for those 2 years. One of my friends put it very well. She said, "My friends and peers at the Institute reaffirmed the comforts of relative misery and mass suffering." And I mean, perhaps that's a bit strong, but we did have to overcome the misery of extremely heavy course loads, self-doubt, and homesickness. Our family extended to beyond just our classmates here, to the entire Graduate Institute community. What would we have done without Benoit and Natalie and the rest of the cafeteria staff to make us laugh when we emerged from the library and got our third coffee of the afternoon? Or the library staff who ordered brand new books for us when our library didn't have them. Or the career services who already has helped us all have bright futures, and many of us have found jobs through them. I could go on, but we have a lot of people to thank, particularly staff and professors who were there for us and with us as students as we struggled. And that's not to say everything was perfect at the Institute. We faced a number of challenges, from lack of space to limited course offerings. I am also so thankful to GISA for their work over the last 2 years, and particularly for advocating to us and contributing to building this family that we have at the Institute. It was a family where we struggled and came together, and that's why we've succeeded.
Merci Sarah. Ce que Sarah vous a pas dit, c'est qu'on nous a donné 3 minutes pour résumer 2 années à l'Institut, donc c'est évidemment un exercice difficile, mais que je suis très heureux d'avoir l'opportunité de faire. I'm incredibly happy to be here today, obviously, with all of us gathered, all of us beautiful, dressed up, smiling. But I have to say it's also quite intimidating. First, because it's difficult to speak after you, Sarah, and I'll probably paraphrase a lot of what you already said. Also because later this afternoon, I think they have the King of Luxembourg speaking for the other graduation ceremony. So I'm not sure we're worth the King, but we'll do, I mean, she did her best, I'm going to try her best now. Finally, look at this room. It's such a big room. And to be honest, I never thought this room was so big before I stepped on this stage. And it's funny because it reminded me of something else I never thought could be that big. And okay, it's an easy transition, but it's my experience at the Institute and how much of a blast it was. Again, like Sarah, I could speak about the quality of the professors and the teaching, the research, the conferences, the location of the facilities, the network we built in all this. But all this is kind of obvious, and we all knew it would be great before coming. Plus, I have only 2 minutes left, I think, so I'll just summarize my experience at the Institute and my feeling today in 6 words: doubt, people, purpose, hope, admiration, and gratitude. Thank you. No, I'm kidding. I appreciate the clapping. So Sarah talked about the doubts and the insecurity we felt sometimes. And it's also something I wanted to mention. Our time here had been stimulating, of course, but also extremely challenging at times. Professors made us doubt what we thought we knew. We doubted our beliefs, our career projects, and we even doubted ourselves. We asked ourselves far too many questions. Do I really belong here? Am I good enough? Will I eventually manage to change the world? And I think, even in a happy day like today, it's important to remember that struggle. Because by remembering it, we also remember how we overcame it. And that's my second point: people. The people we met here, and Sarah talked about it again, the professors, the staff members, the friends we made. What always struck me with all of them is how they have been almost unusually empathetic and supportive. How much we cared for each other, and sometimes how much we felt part of a little family on our own. Of course, we don't all have the same experience, but in talking with students, it is something that really came over and over again. But the thing with these people I'm talking about, and that's my third point, is that on top of being brilliant, empathetic, and caring, they're also guided by a genuine and deep desire to make a difference. We didn't come here for a fancy diploma. We got it, but we didn't come here for that. Or to hang out in Geneva, even though it's a really nice place. The vast majority of us came here with the goal to make a difference. And that's something that always impressed me. And don't get me wrong, people here aren't naive. Maybe idealistic, but certainly not naive. They just want to contribute and do their share in making the world a better place. And that's where my fourth point comes from: hope. Many of us started, or will start really soon, careers in which we'll deal on a daily basis with some of the most frustrating, if not horrible, human behavior. International crimes, human rights violations, discriminations, environmental harm. among others, of course. Yet, mainly for the reasons I just mentioned, I've never been as hopeful as after 2 years at the Institute. Just knowing that all my fellow graduates, sitting all over here, will be out in the real world really soon, makes me more confident in the future than ever. Which takes me to my fifth point. When I was younger, obviously, like probably most of us in this room, I used to admire some well-known public figures. Kofi Annan was one of them, and I wanted to be like them. But now I'm not sure I admire any of them as much as I admire my fellow classmates. Their bright minds, imagination, empathy, dedication, I don't want to resemble anybody as much as I want to resemble all of them. Finally, for all these reasons, I think the ultimate feeling I'm left with is a feeling of gratitude. Gratitude that I had, that we had, the chance to meet each other and to experience all that together. And I'd like to extend this gratitude to all those who supported us, professors, but also the staff members, department managers, library staff, the cafeteria staff, all of them at the Institute, and beyond that, our families and friends, whether they're here today or not. None of this would have been possible without you all. And as I'm finishing this speech, I'm over 3 minutes now, I'm feeling more fired up and ready to go than ever. And I'd just like to thank you all for that and wish you all the best. And I'll simply finish with one request to my fellow classmates, and a request I try to have myself. Keep your curiosity, your empathy, your imagination, your energy, because I'm sure we all need that. Merci et bon vent.
Many thanks to Sarah Pousset and Cyprien Flouzin for their remarkable testimony. And now I'd like to congratulate the young graduates for becoming fresh alumni. And as our alumni association is absolutely vital to us, because we need outside Geneva, outside Switzerland, we need across the world alumni who are supporting us by their sympathy, by their testimony towards younger students, by their network on behalf and in favor of our new students of the future. I would like to invite the president of our Alumni Association to come to the floor, Mr. Paul Mathieu, who will first hand out the prize of the Alumni Association and then give us an address.
Merci beaucoup, Philippe. Thank you very much, and congratulations to our graduates. So, chaque année, l'Association des anciens attribue un prix pour la meilleure thèse de doctorat à quelqu'un d'une section, et chaque année, ça tourne. Cette année, c'est l'anthropologie et la sociologie, le tour de ce département-là. So it's my great pleasure to give the Alumni Prize to Diego Enrique Silva Garzon for his thesis entitled, and you've heard it already, Protecting the Vital, Analyzing the Relationship Between Agricultural Biosafety and the Commodification of Genetically Modified Cotton Seeds in Colombia.
Congratulations. Before I give the floor to Paul Mathieu, I would like to introduce him. Paul Mathieu is advisor at the IMF, and he is the president of our Washington chapter. And I would like to seize this opportunity to thank wholeheartedly not only the chapter, but in particular Paul Mathieu for his tireless energy, his enthusiasm, the way he has managed during the last 10 years, not only to animate, strengthen, develop the Washington chapter, but also to raise every year about $10,000, which are then being matched by our US support foundation, the Friends of the Graduate Institute. And this has been done with remarkable energy, with the unwavering objective of helping a student doing his PhD at the Institute. So many thanks, Paul, for everything you have done. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Philippe, for those two kind words. It's a great privilege to be here at this beautiful facility, Maison de la Paix. I came in 1981, in a previous millennia. For those sitting over on this side of the audience, I came to do the Diploma, which is the equivalent of the master's in those days in economics. And I liked it so much that I stayed for the doctorat. And I stayed 5 years in all, and I had my PhD in economics. And Genève was also a place where I grew up. And it's a wonderful place to experience life. We've also already had references to the beautiful environment, the wonderful international experience that you can get in Geneva. And so for me, the Graduate Institute, in those days it was called HEI, or one of the preceding foundations. Today you have development and anthropology and sociology that are added to that mix, and we've grown. When I was a student, there was a little bit less than 300 students and undergraduates, and today we're almost 900 or more. And so for me, it was a wonderful experience, and it has been for you. We've heard the testimony of two students. It was difficult. Yes, it was difficult. It was difficult in those days. It's a lot of stress. There was a crise de logement at the same time. So nothing's changed. At least it might change in a few years' time when the new student residence comes on stream. But it was a wonderful experience. It was a testing experience. It was a difficult experience at times, and certainly the test of exams and econometrics rings a bell, as our economists have already mentioned. So we've been challenged today to think of world problems, and you are all here to change the world. And many of you have referred to that in the speeches that we've had. Changing the world is a very difficult thing to do. You can change it in your own influence, in your own area, by being consistent with your own understanding of truth and objectives. And as a professor has said, trying not to do any harm. All right, that's a big one. Be consistent with your values and search for excellence. So my path took me to the running dog, imperialist, whatever terms Jean-Louis used, because I work for the International Monetary Fund. And I can tell you, we have a difficult reputation at times, but it's a wonderful place to work. And I've learned a lot. I've actually been there 32 years, believe it or not. So it's a wonderful place to work and to stay. It's a place where you can apply what you've learned, what you've understood, and it's a great place of learning. It's a place of public policy and putting in place reforms. I've been associated with dismal failures, but also wonderful successes. And each one represents challenges and opportunities to grow and to learn. There are difficult times. You will enter the workforce now. The workforce is a wonderful opportunity, but there are also difficulties. You have to get along, you have to produce, you have to be a good soldier at times, and do things that you may not believe in, but you're required to do. But you should always follow your fundamental values as well. So my experience, the first few years, you're still trying to figure out which end is up. And many of you will have different jobs and things might not work out. My experience, I've had difficult bosses. You will have difficult bosses. You had difficult professors? You will have difficult bosses who are difficult, demanding, hard to get along with, right? Unreasonable. Expect that, okay? But you will also have wonderful bosses who challenge you, who understand, who are committed to the social good and so on. You will also learn from. You will learn from both. In fact, many times you will learn more from the ones that are difficult to work for than the ones that are easy to work for. So don't back away from difficult challenges, difficult opportunities. Crises are wonderful opportunities to change and to reform. So as you go forth, I'd like to encourage you. And as the president of the Alumni Association, my involvement was motivated by my love of the Institute. And I would like to encourage you to sign up to the alumni. When I graduated from the Institute, you had to pay 30 Swiss francs to be a member of the association. So Philippe, among his other accomplishments that we can see here, also abolished that and made it a de facto that you are automatically a member. But we need to see you. We need to know where you are to let you know what the events are. So I'd like to encourage you to get involved wherever you might be in the world. There are chapters. There's some 25 chapters now of alumni of the Institute. Get involved. Make sure we know where your email address is, and Facebook and all that stuff. So that there's a LinkedIn group of alumni. So we want you to sign up for that as well and get involved. It's a wonderful way to stay connected and to contribute. So just a few words, and I won't go on much longer than that, but it's been a wonderful pleasure to be here with you and to see you graduate. Do well, and we look forward to seeing you as new alumni.
Well, that's the end. That's the beginning. So please go for a drink to the reception. Thank you.